Hey, Bad Christian here again, and today I got something different for you. We're going to step outside of the standard agricultural practices, and we're going to explore a little bit different style of gardening today. Stay tuned, folks, it's going to get interesting. So I've got a little compost bed that I'm starting right here, and in the bottom of that bed is those tomatoes. What do you guys think? That's literally tomatoes that were growing that I just didn't have time to pick. Like, there were so many of them. It produced so many tomatoes. No way to keep up with them. A little 10 by 10 area right here. May 100-fold times the tomato that agriculturally pruned row, handled to some degree of professionalism, could ever even think about. Hey, Bad Christian here again, and today I'm going to start a new little series for you guys. And I noticed some things happening last year. I've had this channel not even a year yet, and I've been kind of documenting some of my stuff that's been going on in the garden. And so I realized last year, if you kind of go through my shorts and stuff, that even through all the cultivation and the agricultural techniques and the methods and the stuff that I'm using, it's not that I'm doing bad, but I realized that there's things going on that are beyond my control that I could be taking advantage of. And I guess I'm just new to doing it on this level, and my brain works a little bit different. And I thought to myself, why do I continue to do that which agriculture says is supposed to work but doesn't work? And over here in the corner, something successful that's completely out of the realm of anything that I've ever heard of or any method that I've ever heard of anybody using. So what I'm talking about, guys, is I'm talking about my wild tomatoes that came up last year. And actually last year would have been the second year that they came up. And the first year that they came up, they were just a few plants that were kind of rooted in the ground where I had a compost pile going. And when I had the compost pile going, I was just taking old fruit and I was throwing it in there, stuff from the garden, whatnot. And I grew cherry tomatoes that year. And I took them cherry tomatoes and I put them in that compost pile along with a handful of other things. Well, as I treated that compost pile and I turned it over, I had it laying on the dirt. I hadn't built me a box yet or anything, so I was just kind of using what I had, you know. And as I turned all that stuff over and then I let it sit, I realized that, oh, there's stuff sprouting up out of this. Well, of course, yeah, it's a compost pile. There's stuff sprouting out of it. Well, I just left it to grow. And as I left it to grow, it turned into a patch of tomatoes that could not be stopped. I mean, the drought was hitting. Things were tough, man. I don't have a lot going on with my well. I can't just pump water out on the ground all day long. I don't have it like that. So here we were in a drought the last 2 years, and all of my rows and all of my stuff just struggling in the heat of the year, losing a lot of good plants, disease and stuff like that becoming an issue because the conditions were not favorable, and all that stuff's over there dying, and I'm struggling to keep it all together, and I'm stringing stuff up and I'm staking stuff up, and if those tomatoes fall down and they hit the ground, oh well, then there's a little bit of dirt on them and it starts to kill the vines back and disease starts to take over. Meanwhile, over here in this old compost pile, these tomatoes are laying on the ground. The vines are just as green can get. It's making more tomatoes than I could ever even pick every day, and the little patch is 10 by 10 feet. So I thought to myself, I'm doing something wrong here. There's something that I could be doing better here. And what can I do to create that scenario to force that volunteer situation instead of just sitting back and hoping for the best, you know? I'm going to try to recreate that situation and try to recreate that scenario and see if I can't get that to happen on purpose to force the volunteer. And then from the forced volunteer, I want things to naturally sow from there throughout the year. So I kind of want the plants, like certain things, to go to seed when we start talking about onions and, flowers and lettuce, cabbage, arugula, broccoli, stuff like that. I want it, I don't want to just cut all of it away. I want to leave some of that so that as it grows, it will produce seeds that naturally fall down. I had a whole patch of great radishes come up from a patch of radishes that I left go to seed last year, and produce some of the most beautiful radishes that you've ever seen. So I just want to kind of try to recreate these situations and these scenarios, and I want to kind of build this series around the idea that gardening and agriculture, maybe there's a better way, and maybe that way is already encapsulated in nature and is all around us. And if we'll just kind of pay attention to the things that are going on around us, maybe we can take those things and apply them to what we're doing in the garden and have a lot more fruitful situation that's a lot more disease resistant, drought resistant. So let's just take a journey together and see where we get with this. So it dawns on me, guys, that it's not just the seed that's the issue. Like, so when God created a fruit and a seed, you know, male, female, he created all that stuff. Most importantly, he created the womb. And to understand that the fruit is the womb of the seed. And it's there not only to protect that seed, that offspring, but it's there to provide the nutrients and the, you know, disease resist. It's there for protection of that seed. It's there. It has certain starches. It has certain sugars. It has certain material in it that's essential to the survival of that offspring. And so it makes sense that why you would have something more successful that naturally occurs from a fruit rotting in the ground than all the struggles that we have in agriculture when we're trying to grow something from seed in a row and force it into the orientation that we want it to be. So instead of growing this stuff in rows, I'm going to be growing this stuff in squares, like patches. Because if it was to naturally occur, that's how it wants to grow naturally. So I'm just going to let it happen, guys. I'm not going to pin nothing up. I'm going to let this stuff just do what it does. And I'm really excited to see where we get with this. Like I said, I don't have the water support this year to continually water and irrigate a garden. I'm not going to use roof water for that. It's frowned upon by agriculture as far as like farming regulation and stuff like that around here. So I'm just going to make the adjustment. I seen that I was successful in a place where I didn't mean to be successful, and I was unsuccessful in a place that I poured so much work into. So I'm going to pour my work into the place where I was successful and try to leave that other stuff alone this year, and we'll see where we get. So right here, guys, I've already had this tilled up. I've actually got peppers already done. I've done some of this too. Now, it hasn't rained on them yet, but this is chicken manure composted in here, and there's peppers buried in here. I got bell peppers in here. I got sweet peppers in here, and I got banana peppers in here. And so I'm just got kind of this patch of peppers that I'm gonna try to create. We're gonna do the same thing over here, and we're gonna do it with these heirloom tomatoes, and we're gonna see what happens. All right. Now this is real scientific right here. Just looks like this right here. Look like that. Oh boy. Surely something out of all this will grow. Surely something. And that's just it. Even if I just get like 2 or 3 plants, those 2 or 3 plants will produce more than 10 plants if I try to put them in a row and nurture them along and spread them out. And these things right here won't hardly need any weeding. Just a little bit at first. I'm so excited to try this. I just know it's gonna work, guys. But let me know what you think. Has anybody ever done anything like this? Leave something in the comment section if you have. And if the wind's clipping my mic, I'm sorry, guys. I need to put my little thingy on there, my little fluffy thingy. I don't feel like going up to the house and getting it yet, but so all right. Now I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get into my little composty area over here, and I'm gonna get some of this compost and I'm gonna drop it over top of this stuff. We're gonna start making layers just like we were building a compost heap. And the rain's hopefully gonna come soon and soak all this, and eventually I'm gonna lay tarps over this and everything. So try to get it all to heat up and break down like a compost pile. Right there, what it is chicken manure from my coops that I'm digging at right here. And this got old leaves from the yard. It's been mulched in here with it. Yeah, this good old composty. Yeah, buddy. Get that rigged up on this tarp right here, and then we'll drag him over there. All right. You just see this is already trying to compost. It's already got chicken manure, leaves, all the good stuff in it. I'm just gonna, yeah, buddy. Give me some more of that goodness. There we go. Some more of them leaves. Just dumped all this out here in the garden because I realized, like, what am I doing building compost in other places other than the ground where I want to grow things, if the end result of building a compost pile is a piece of ground that will grow just about any damn thing? It don't make sense. Why wouldn't my whole garden be the compost pile? And if there's a good answer for that, leave a comment. We'd like to hear it. If you see something I can do better, let me know. I'd like to have all the help I can get from you guys. Because this is fully experimental. We're scientists, everybody. We're experimenting. Oh gosh. I've got that pile of dookie cleaned out. This has got some pine needles on it, which I'm not very happy with. I don't really want that in there. Well, I guess it might not be too bad. Pine needles are acidic, and they just kind of ended up in here, which, honestly, it's interesting because we worry about pH a lot. And some of you'll know what I'm talking about too. See, people want to talk about pH a lot. There's some old taters in there. Oh, this has to be this pH to be the best, and this and this and this. But, and help me out in the comment section, guys. If you're a compost gardener and you're used to making your own compost, there comes a point where you realize, like, actual real compost, the pHs on it are always high. And it's, no matter how much lime you put in that compost, you're not helping yourself at all. It won't make any difference. So, it's just interesting to me, because when you're dealing with compost, all of a sudden pH doesn't matter anymore. It's very, very interesting. I might move that around a little bit. It's not too bad right there. I could use some more heavy manure on it. Here, let's have a look. Okay. Wind's trying to clip the mic a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty, it actually is pretty good amount of manure in it. Let's mess with it here a little bit. See what we can get her to look like. Like I said, the rain's coming in. I can feel it trying to sprinkle right now. One of the issues I did have over here when I was putting the peppers in the other day was the wind blowing my compost around, but now I was using all dry leaves. Everything was so dry. And if the wind's clipping the mic, sorry guys. Make just a little dirt onto it. I don't want it to wind to blow the leaves all over. This ground has been tilled. I'm in the south. I'm in the Appalachian Mountains, in the Smokies out here, and we have Bermuda grass. So tilling is a must, unfortunately. Maybe one day, if I just keep working this stuff, I can get to where I don't need to till it, but that grass is mean, and if you've ever had to deal with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not bad. It's not bad. I need the rain to get on it and mash it down. Because you're going to have things like rats trying to get in it and eat the fruit, but they won't get every seed no matter what, even if they get in there. So I'm real excited. Let's see what comes of this. So I've got a little compost bed that I'm starting right here, and in the bottom of that bed is those tomatoes. What do you guys think? You think those tomatoes will come up and they'll be productive, or am I wasting my time? Because over here, where these tarps are, like I said before, and I might end up voicing this part over because the wind's blowing so bad, but like right there, tomatoes I grew. Right here, look guys, I know I'm gonna have to voice this over. Tomatoes I grew, these things weren't worth a damn. And I spent so much time and energy. And over there, I got all these strings. Look at all these, like, this takes forever to string these things up. And dude, there's so much work there. And this right here didn't produce near as much as this over here. Look at this. Now I got these tarps over here because there's nothing out of here. Look, you see all that tomato vine all over? Look at the tomato. You see the yellow? That's literally tomatoes that were growing that I just didn't have time to pick. Like, there were so many of them. It produced so many tomatoes. No way to keep up with them. A little 10 by 10 area right here. Made 100-fold times a tomato that agriculturally pruned row, handled to some degree of professionalism could ever even think about. So if this will do this, why would I continue to do that? It just doesn't make sense to me. What makes sense to me is do this. If you think I'm wrong, leave a comment in the comment section. This has been Bad Christian. Until next time, everybody have a great day. Love y'all.